While Ukrainian refugees across Europe celebrated their nation's Independence Day on Sunday, their sentiments were a blend of hope and sorrow. Reports emerging from various host nations indicate increasing safety concerns for these displaced individuals, along with forecasts suggesting that the number of Ukrainians choosing to return home may fall significantly short of previous expectations. Natalia Panchenko, the head of Euromaidan Warsaw and a key organizer of Independence Day events in Warsaw, emphasized the importance of this holiday for those Ukrainians who are engaged in the struggle for their nation's survival. We represent the generation that is risking everything for Ukraine's continued independence, she shared with Euronews, highlighting the deep emotional weight of the day. In happier times, this was a day filled with festivities, large concerts, and vibrant celebrations in the central squares of our cities, Panchenko recounted, reflecting on a tradition now overshadowed by conflict. Unfortunately, over the past 12 years, our joy has been stifled, as we have been forced to confront the daily realities of fighting for our independence against Russia. According to United Nations data, as of July 1st, 5.6 million Ukrainians have found refuge outside their homeland. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, has noted that approximately 4.14 million of these individuals, who fled following the full-scale invasion by Russia in early 2022, had returned by April. However, the National Bank of Ukraine has now revised its outlook, projecting that only about 100,000 citizens will come back by 2027. A drastic decline from earlier estimates of 500,000. They also anticipate an upcoming wave of approximately 400,000 new immigrants within the next 2 years. Poland currently accommodates around 2.5 to 3 million Ukrainians, which includes about 1 million refugees who have escaped the war since February 2022. Panchenko expressed her gratitude for the warm reception from Polish society, remarking that many everyday citizens have gone above and beyond, traveling to the borders to help, opening their homes to those in need, and facilitating the enrollment of Ukrainian children in schools. This spirit persists, even as some assistance fatigue is noticeable, driven partly by the long duration of the conflict and worsening economic conditions. Even in a climate where some individuals are feeling weary from providing assistance, or when the ongoing war has started to wear people down, there remains a substantial number of Polish organizations and volunteers who are actively gathering humanitarian aid, supporting refugees, and contributing to the front lines. Panchenko pointed out, as the situation evolves, it is essential to understand the implications of changing attitudes. Recent survey results indicate an increasing wave of anti-Ukrainian sentiment that is starting to surface in certain Polish political narratives. This shift has led to a noticeable decline in the sense of safety among Ukrainian refugees, some of whom are contemplating migrating further west instead of returning to their war-torn country. A survey conducted by the Gremi Personal Analytical Center in the spring of 2025 revealed that 70% of Ukrainian participants in Poland are considering the possibility of returning, with 17.9% indicating they would head back immediately if it were safe, while 45.3% are still uncertain but open to the idea of eventually going home. The future trajectory of migration will heavily depend on the situation in Ukraine, encompassing the potential end of the conflict, the pace of economic recovery, and levels of investment, among other determinants. Oleg Rutenko, from the Gremi Personal Analytical Center, conveyed to Euronews, despite the demographic challenges that Ukraine currently faces, Rudenko pointed out that a significant potential for return still exists, particularly over the longer term. However, many refugees are grappling with the grim reality that their cities may no longer be standing. For example, places like Avdiivka and Bakhmut have been devastated and now lie in ruins. It's a certainty that some individuals currently residing in Poland or elsewhere in Europe will not come back even after the war concludes. Many of these people might find that they have no home left to return to at all, Panchenko noted. She elaborated, "It's devastating to consider, but entire towns like Avdiivka and Bakhmut have been reduced to mere ashes. If you were to look at a map today, it would show nothing but scorched earth. Yet amidst the devastation, there are still those who are choosing to return home without waiting for a ceasefire or peace talks, aiming for their children to begin the new school year back in Ukraine. Approximately 40% of the refugees currently abroad plan to return, regardless of how well they have settled into their new lives. They often express a lack of belonging here, affirming that their hearts are still tied to Ukraine, and they intend to return as soon as they get the opportunity," Panchenko concluded. What does this mean for the future of Ukrainian refugees? How do we reconcile the complex emotions tied to both celebration and sorrow? There's a lot to unpack, and your thoughts would be invaluable. Do you think that the current sentiment in host countries affects the likelihood of refugees choosing to return? Let's discuss.